Here live with Coyu back in Los Angeles. We had some technical difficulties earlier, but now we are good to go and we are on the way to work.
Yep.
Yeah, for tonight's show in Los Angeles. You've been coming to LA for almost like 10 years now.
Yeah, to be honest now I don't remember my first time here, but yeah, it was more than a decade ago. So yeah. It's a city that I really like to come here, especially now because of the work that you have been doing for the last years. It's like the Techno city in North America, or at least in the United States. So you have built something beautiful here, and you have a very nice techno community, and it's difficult to find a crowd like the one that you have here in other cities around the country. For sure, so techno it is becoming very popular around the country, but for me, LA is special.
Yes, no, absolutely. And like the scene here has grown tremendously over the years as well. And I know the LA crowd, they enjoy your set. They always, enjoy every time we bring you back. So should be fun.
Should be fun. Yeah, it's a very beautiful night. Johnny's birthday. Tomorrow is my birthday.
Yes,
as well, so,
yes, it's her birthday, and we're also celebrating 15 years of Swara,
right.
Your label, which is not an easy feat, man.
Yes.
I mean, running a successful label for 15 years, you have to throw in the word successful, because not every label out there can do what you have done, and also the transition period as well. And was a fan, still a fan. I think I'm always going to be a fan of the label.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I think that what you say is something important. Here in North America, I didn't lose, and Sora didn't lose many fans in that transition. And I think that's a reason. In North America, you guys are not that obsessed with genres like in Europe. In North America, or at least here in the United States, you can like house and techno at the same time.
Yeah.
You can go to Patrick Tupin's party and then go to Egghead Models party.
Yes, absolutely.
In Europe, that's completely impossible. So yeah, my job, our job with the label, with Swara, with the transition was harder in Europe than here.
I see. But you push through, right? And I think for anything that has the longevity, that has success and growth, it takes time as well. Mm-hmm. And so tonight, I think it's a big celebration. So how's the U.S. tour going so far? You're on a little tour right now, and I was with you last week in Philadelphia. That was awesome.
We saw each other in Philadelphia, in Philly, a nice city, with a very nice guys, the Fall Theory. They are doing a very nice job trying to push techno in the East Coast in Philadelphia. It was a nice party and a nice after party. And after that, I went to New York, which is also a city that I really love. I play there very often. Actually, within the last year, I played like 4 times, so it's crazy.
Okay.
I play there very often. I play.
Yeah, it's a great scene up there.
Yeah. Last year I played in June and August, then in December as well. Now in August as well, and I think I'm coming back in December.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a city that I play very often. I have a nice fan base, and it's always nice to play there. Then after New York, I went to Tulum. And it was surprisingly good. I really enjoy it. Tulum is not a place for techno, but they are trying to push techno as well, and we had a very nice party at Mia, and last party, I mean the latest one was in Vancouver last night.
Okay, right.
And it was also pretty good. It was my first time in Vancouver in 8 years, so my first time like playing like a proper techno.
I see. Yeah, no, they're doing some proper stuff up there in Vancouver. There's a few collectives that's been pushing techno, real proper techno, and yeah, it's really kind of growing all over North America. And you're playing here a lot more now, you know, in the U.S., Mexico, and Canada.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome, and it's good that you enjoy. But how do you feel? Are you tired from the tour?
I'm pretty tired, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking about it when I was on the plane. Actually, I was sleeping almost 3 hours from Vancouver to LA. But when I was boarding, I was thinking about this interview. What should I say if when you ask me if I'm tired? and actually, I was thinking to say that I'm tired. So
yeah, of course.
Sometimes you say no, I'm super good, and no, I'm tired. I'm very tired right now. And you know, when you are like a raver, a clubber, and you go out to parties and you see the DJs, you wanna think that they are in its peak, you know, in the base moment. And actually it used to be like the opposite, because when you go out you used to be well rested.
Yes.
And DJs are
not well rested at all.
No. And so and I was also thinking that it's very difficult when you are in your peak as an artist to do like something special and original and even interesting, because you are playing, I don't know, maybe 10, 12, 15 shows per month.
Yes.
So you are like in a automatic mode, you know.
You're a machine. I mean,
you cannot play. You cannot be thinking about that specific set for long, and it happened to me back in the day when I was having 12, 15 months per show, when I was playing more house and tech house, and I that's one of the reasons I left the genre, because I didn't have fun for a long while, for a long time, and one of the reasons is that you don't have enough rest, you have enough sleep, and it's tough
and it's so important
to push your creativity into the limits, you know.
Absolutely. I mean, it's something I'm really big on right now is making sure that you get proper rest. I mean, I know this is crazy because the industry we're in, it's like it's all about partying and bending and after parties, but I do think to be able to find that balance, especially Monday through Thursday, Monday to Friday, you gotta have that. You know,
for me
discipline.
it's very important.
Absolutely. And look, it's no secret that you're really into fitness and working out and stuff. When did you actually start getting really serious about fitness and your diet and all that? Let's talk about that.
Well, I have been working out for the last maybe 10 years.
Okay.
But consistently, like right now, I would say only a few years. Before the pandemic maybe, but like very, very focused, like right now, a couple of years or 3 years maybe.
I see, and the results are showing. I don't know if anyone follows, you know, if you follow Coyu's Instagram, you know, he's definitely gives previews of what he's doing in the gym and stuff, and the results show, man. And how do you feel mentally and spiritually? I mean, obviously physically you feel great, but like mentally, let's talk about that. I mean,
for me, it's a game changer. For me, the most important thing when I am working out is my mental health, not my physique. You know, for sure, it's nice to have a beautiful body, but for me, the most important thing is that when I'm working out, I'm focused on what I'm doing. I'm not thinking about work, not thinking about all of the stuff, and also it's nice it's good for your health.
For sure.
It helps me to go through the. I have more strength, so you know when and even when you feel like you are tired, it helps you when you are like working out, you're pushing, and you say, okay, one more. That is strength, mental strength.
Yeah, that mental strength.
You, it helps you in your life.
Absolutely.
So when you are in a bad moment or a sad moment, fitness for me changed my life. But also, what you eat for me is very, very important. Of course, you know that I'm vegan, but you don't have to be vegan to be healthy, but it helps you as well.
For sure, absolutely. I mean, eating more organic food, eating more natural food. No meat stuff. I mean, that is definitely the healthier option per se. So yeah, absolutely game changer. And I think right now there's also been a lot of artists that's more health conscious.
Right.
I mean, after all, everyone is getting older. Time doesn't stop. Just because you're partying and you're in a club for 10, 11 hours and time has stopped for you, but everything keeps moving. And, I think if we want to continue raving, if we want to continue doing this, traveling and performing, and for me as a promoter, being able to continue to do these parties almost every weekend, health is really important, and I cannot stress that enough for those of you watching.
For me the most important is to have the right balance. So because you cannot restrict yourself like 100%.
Right.
So we are DJs, so we have to have a good time,
Right.
I mean, we are very privileged. We have like amazing job. We are like traveling the world. People show up. The people come to see our sets, to enjoy what we play, and it's crazy when you think
it is crazy. No, it absolutely is. I'm so glad you mentioned this, because these are the conversations I have with people. Like, what we do is absolutely crazy, insane.
It is.
Which is why I'm always very grateful, and I think I always at least let the people that are in this path, like you do this full time, or like this is how you make it's important to be grateful for it, because this is absolutely insane. But hey, every coin has its has heads and tails, right? There's always the goods and bads and stuff, and not to be a Debbie Downer, but let's also let the viewers know that it's not always that great either, and stuff. There's the lack of sleep, the lack of rest.
It's tiring. It's tiring. I knew some pretty well-known artists that decided to stop to play.
To stop touring pretty much.
Because we're very privileged. We have an amazing job, but it can be tough. It can be frustrating sometimes when you are like pushing your body to the limit, and sometimes it's like okay, I will pay to don't play tonight.
Oh man, I know.
I mean, I had that feeling.
Honestly, that has to be kind of like the worst feeling, because it's everything that you worked for, right? And then you got it, and it's giving it to you. Like, hey, 15, 20 gigs a month. This is your dream. This is what you work for. And then you're like, I'd rather pay someone to not have to do it, to get a night off. I mean, that to me was a really interesting mindset epiphany, because as a promoter, I've felt that as well, and even just being part of the industry, I feel it just traveling and doing one show. You guys are doing 2-3 shows a weekend, every weekend, right? You're flying out pretty much tomorrow, right? Back.
The thing is that it's difficult to say no. When you have like 10, 12, 15 shows, when is the limit? You want in what moment you decide to, okay, I'm gonna do only 8 shows.
Right.
But then,
this is enough.
But then you have 8 shows and you get a booking from Berghain or Coachella.
Right.
So It's tough. It's tough because you cannot stop yourself. You can.
Right.
This it's like a big machine, like a big train, you know, and you are into or you're out. You know, you cannot get in. You cannot be in the middle.
Right.
I mean, you can be like a Laurent Garnier that he did everything in his life. He's for me the best DJ ever, and he decided to play only a couple of shows per month or 3 months per month. So that's amazing. But okay, he's in his 50s.
Right. He's done it.
And he played records since the late 70s or early 80s, so he can do that. But like a middle class DJ cannot say.
Yeah, no, I understand
difficult.
it's tough because you say no and they pass you and they may never come back again.
Right.
Right, and this isn't being a DJ and being in this industry. It's not like you're in a European football league or or the NBA where like okay, you get 82 games this season,
right.
and you get to pick and choose how. No, it's like because there's no rules.
Because sometimes you can have two shows or you can have 18.
Yeah.
And
you don't know.
And you're still the same guy, the same artist, and sometimes it's very tough to deal with that. Why I'm not having enough shows, that's also a big issue these days, especially after the pandemic. I think that if you are in a top tier level, that's great. You have every show that you can imagine. But for the middle class guys, after the pandemic, the situation changed a lot.
I hate. You know what? I mean, not to bring things more, not depressing, but I think it's going through its cycle. Mm-hmm. I think techno, it's going through a cycle right now because hard techno, hardcore, it used to be gabber in the 90s and stuff, and we're kind of seeing the resurgence. And I would have to agree that the pandemic, definitely because of Twitch, because of the live streams and stuff, there is the kids growing up in that era, they didn't have raves to go to during that time, so they were only partying at home and only seeing what they saw. So when things came back, I feel like they really influenced. I mean, they're the new generation that's pushing the market.
Sure, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
But hopefully, with the cycle of any music, that it goes back into what it was.
For me, this is a very interesting thing. These extreme sounds like hardcore, psytrance, and GABA. Those genres weren't cool back in the day. When I started to go off to parties in Barcelona, those genres you couldn't hear in the nice venues.
Right.
You have to go to raves. You have to go out to like not that very cool clubs, And nowadays, for many people, especially kids, those genres are very, very cool. Are what they want to hear, not only here but in Europe or in India, everywhere in the world. These genres became so popular, and they became popular for first time in clubs. They are not raves anymore.
Yes, that's true. They're popular in clubs for the first time, and some clubs are even finding hard to adjust to that because they want a certain type of music in clubs, but when the demand is there.
Oh, absolutely. It is, and I don't think it's gonna change in the short term. I think at least for a couple of years.
Yeah, for sure. It's here to stay. I mean, at least in Tomorrowland, I mean, did you even hear like the real like hard stage, like hard style and stuff? And that is like, gong gong, it's a different bass line with that one, and it's huge. I mean, you don't hear it too much in clubs, but they never left.
Yeah.
And trance as well, at least in LA, trance is really big.
Oh, really?
Still. Yeah, I mean, there's big trance festivals that happen
not in
here.
Europe, or maybe in Netherlands.
Maybe in Netherlands, yeah.
Not in other countries like Spain or Germany or Italy. For sure, there are some fans and there are some parties, but not too much.
Right. I mean, the genres all got screwed up. You know, really, because progressive house 10, 12 years ago, at least the genre, it's Sasha and Digweed. At least that's how it was labeled on Beatport.
Yeah.
But now progressive house is Martin Garrix's Hardwell. You know, it went through that phase.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think for me, it's always going to be about the grooves and stuff, and then it just depends on the vibe of things. I mean, what do you think? I mean, what do you think about daytime hard techno? Do you think it works? I mean, it happens. It happens,
and I mean, if you like that kind of stuff at night, I guess that you like it on daytime parties as well. Daytime parties are fun.
Daytime parties are fun.
I like it. I like it, and I like to play daytime parties, especially because you can go to bed at midnight. You know.
That's true.
I'm getting old. You know, I'm getting old, so I like to go to bed early. So.
I feel you, man. I feel you. And so, but then, what do you play then during a daytime party? And so, like, do you play your normal stuff at night, or like do you?
Yeah, well, it depends of the party, the promoter, the city.
What type of festival?
Yeah, sure.
Is it
sure.
right?
It's important to know your crowd. You cannot, for me at least, you cannot play the same stuff like in every single party or city.
Dude, I agree. You know, but there are some DJs they can only just play one style. This is my style.
Sure.
I don't care if I'm opening, closing, headlining.
Yeah,
like this is one.
That's sad.
It is. Be situational. You want to be able to read the room. You know, it's such an overlooked skill in DJing. You know, being able to really kind of read and craft, anticipate, and adjust, adapt. I mean,
yeah, those words are very, very important, and I think that especially the new generation, they don't care about that.
Of course.
But it's. Sometimes when I see the lineups of these hardcore parties, what a hardcore warm-up DJ can play.
Yeah, I mean,
probably they play like a soft hardcore. I mean,
you know, look, I actually wrote a pretty long article about the whole lost art of the opening DJ, and you know, and I posted this on social media.
Yeah, I saw it,
and it got a lot of and. Here's the thing, for a hardcore party that if the DJ at the peak of the party is going 170, that's where they're going, then it's not too crazy that the DJ is open at 140. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or 135.
Well, but that's very deep for a hardcore.
145, you know, but I think it just really depends on the context. What is an opening track for this theme of parties? Right? If the party is only going to go to 140 BPM, then you start at 125, 130. No, I think 127. Yeah. And just stick around that.
Well, to be honest, for me, the BPM is not that important. For me, it's the energy.
True.
The energy of the tracks. You can have a 150 BPM and it can sound deep.
That's true. Hey.
And then you can have a 130 BPM track that it's like super heavy.
That's true. That is true. That is true.
So for me, BPM is not that important.
Look at that, dropping some knowledge. Yeah, BPM. I actually have to agree. BPM is not important. I think it's what the feeling,
the vibe,
and the energy of the music. Because look, we've all played ambient tracks, and there are some ambient tracks they're 140 BPMs. Wait, what's going on? You know, and it's not, and it's 140 BPM, but it's a droney ambient track, and it's.
I mean, you have some ambient tracks from Affect Twin that are 170
exactly,
BPM,
exactly,
IDM. So
exactly, but the energy is an ambient energy.
Sure.
opening music. Hey, that's
or even for drum and bass.
Yes.
Drum and bass, you can have a 170 BPM drum and bass track, and this deep liquid drum and bass.
Right.
Yeah, I love the sound, by the way.
Yeah, the liquid drum and bass. Yeah, it's really really nice. Yeah. Cool. So, what other music genres have you DJ'd? So, I mean, I know house and tech house back then, now techno, but do you do any disco, funk, hip hop?
Sure. Especially when I do open to close, I like to go through different genres. Yeah, and I can play drum and bass, or I can play like proper old school electro, and I like to start with ambient and something really deep, and build the set from the scratch. But yeah, nice. that when you play open to close, or when you play like extended sets, it allows you to be more creative and play stuff that you cannot play in a 2-hour set. Yeah.
You gotta take them through a journey, and then also, it's an opportunity to show your craftsmanship, your versatility, your track selection. I think it's very special.
Yeah, I really like to play long sets. It takes a toll on you. They can be very hard, because you have to think a lot. You have to think a lot. When you are playing a festival for 90 minutes, you play only the bangers. But when you want to take to the crowd into the journey, it's hard. It's
100%.
Yeah, I really like them.
100%.
But it takes you a lot of energy. I remember when I played open to close for you guys in LA right before the pandemic.
Yes, I remember.
A few weeks before the pandemic.
Yes.
And I remember that you brought me to the hotel at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was devastated. I was like completely dead. Actually, for the last 2 hours of the set, it was a 7-hour set, I think.
Right.
The last 2 hours, I had that feeling that I wanted to stop playing because I cannot keep playing. I drank like 15 Red Bulls.
Right.
I was so tired. I remember that I played somewhere else the day before, and I was super tired, and I was having an amazing fun. I really love it, but at the same time I was dying inside.
Right. Man, do these open to close, it's not for, you gotta really have the stamina. It takes a toll, because from the track selection to the journey, and then actually the physical endurance, and then the mental endurance as well too, to really keep the music and keep the party intact. Right. It's it's a solo job,
and it's exactly, you cannot ask to another DJ to come to help you to play a few tracks, and but I still really like it. I don't do it that often like in the past, but I really like it.
Nice. Yeah. Maybe the next time. Come back to LA.
Sure.
So, all right. Usually, I like to end the car interview with something that we give back to the community. And as we know, the community is full of up-and-coming artists, aspiring artists, producers, even label owners as well too. In the most transparent, honest perspective, for someone that's watching that wants to ultimately, have this goal of being a touring artist, a label owner, all these things that are really important for an artist to really grow. What are your tips and advice for someone that's watching, or maybe talking to the older version of, the younger version of you?
Yeah. Well, when I started to get into the music industry, I didn't say no to anyone. I think when they approached me to work for, I don't know, help a promoter to sell tickets or to, I don't know, I always say yes. I wanted to be around, I wanted to be surrounded by other people who were already into the industry. Actually, I was not very conscious about it. I just, I really liked music, and I was happy.
Being around it.
Yeah. So I was a driver driving these to clubs and the hotels, and I work as a booking agent. I have my own radio show. I work as a music journalist, even if I was not a music journalist. Right. I work in a very wide range of works in the industry. And if I think I am who I am, it's because I accepted all those jobs. Sometimes it could be like not very interesting, or at the beginning you say, okay,
but you really just want to be a DJ, an artist and stuff. But do you understood that this is how you get your foot in the door? I mean, it's
because you can be a gifted artist, you can be an amazing DJ producer, but if you stay at your home, nobody's gonna come to knock your door and say,
please,
okay, play for me.
Yes, exactly. Please let me build your career for you.
So I think that especially in the early stages of your career, you have to show up to parties to start to. That the people who is surrounded by you, I mean the industry, they start to know your face, communicate with the promoters, try to be supportive as well to especially to the people who are doing a good job in your city.
Yes.
I think those things are important. Because it's not only about how good you are as an artist, but how good you are also as a person. Because nobody wants to work with an idiot, with a dick. So
with an asshole too. Which 100%.
So I think it's important just to. Especially, it's important to have fun.
Yeah, that's true.
Because don't think too much about, okay, I want to be the next superstar DJ, because that's not going to happen.
Because then that intention, that energy is not going to be good.
No.
You want to be the relaxed and stuff, and let things flow.
Sure.
And stuff. I mean, I get that sentiment. It's called an approach.
That's the ultimate goal, but you have to take various steps, at the beginning, and have fun.
For sure, and I think what you mentioned earlier too, you also need to find a balance as well too. So have fun with the balance. I think that can never go wrong. Like, you never want to tip too far onto the spectrum of having too much fun where it only becomes that and you lose or you forget, why you're ultimately in the scene. So, thank you. That's actually really good advice, because a lot of people are oftentimes in their own heads. They want to just be in their studio the entire time, which is not a bad thing at all. But finding the balance, right, and pushing out the comfort zone, because a lot of artists are introverts too. They don't want to meet people.
Sure.
So it's like, why can't my music just do the talking? But it's like, your music can't do the talking. Like, you have to also meet people to get the opportunities to get your music out there. So
look, when I was on my peak, I was releasing hot creations, very big defected, very big labels, and I remember that I was working with a British agent, and he told me Jamie Jones is doing a Paradise party every Wednesday, I think, at DC10. You have to go there every week to that not only Jamie, but the people who is surrounded by Jamie start to know you. I say, man, I'm doing like I don't know, 13, 14 shows per month, like 150 shows per year. I cannot spend a Wednesday,
right,
having fun with So sometimes it's difficult to say no, but you have to. I mean, probably I don't know. Maybe my career could have changed if I could decide to go every Wednesday to Ibiza. I don't know.
Right, but you have to pick and choose your battles and stuff because ultimately your health is really your wealth. I mean, it's so important, and learning when to say no and stuff, and you know, how does this connection truly help your advancement in your career? And that's the balance I think you have to find.
But it's hard to find that balance.
It's hard, but that's why you have to be disciplined. That's why you constantly have to work on that as well. I mean, life is not easy, and making decisions is always, you know, especially those kind of decisions.
And that's why I find that discipline on fitness, because some days you don't want to go to the gym, you know, because you feel tired, because you have a big weekend and you prefer to stay at home with your cats, you know, having some rest. But that discipline that the fitness gives you